Ladies, hear this. Dressing naked doesn't attract the right men to you. It's true that men will break their necks to look at a woman showing a lot of skin. But at the same time, they'll pass judgment, short-term only. And once a man categorizes you as sex only, he won't see anything beyond that. Men see how you dress, and then make assumptions about your relationship potential. A man named Doug explained, it makes a woman more attractive if she's showing less skin. It makes you want to find out what's underneath. A guy doesn't want to get to bed and think, no big deal. I've already seen this. You want her birthday suit to be a surprise. That's half the excitement. When women look at clothing, we see colors, fabrics, and styles. What do men see? Whether or not you are a mental challenge. That's why you hear men talk about nurse fantasies or the girl next door or librarian types. If a woman wears something that doesn't show all her stuff, like jeans and a sweater, what a guy reads is, it's not here on display for you. You'll have to work a little to get this. When a woman shows a little but not all, a guy infers that the sexy parts of her privileged areas. And her stock goes up. Evan is a classic example of how quickly men categorize women. He met Blair at work and asked her if she'd like to have drinks that evening. She was wearing a silk blouse that showed a little, but not too much. Then she ran home to freshen up. Thinking she was going to wow him, she put on a cropped t-shirt that showed tons of cleavage and a belly ring, with large lettering across her chest that read, "Not everything is flat in Kansas." He recalls, "I knew it wasn't going anywhere from day one. If he wants a serious relationship with a woman, he'd rather see less skin in public and keep the freak show private, for his eyes only. He'd rather see a form-fitting blouse than a plunging neckline. Or a sundress that shows a hint of her silhouette. He's much more fascinated by a long skirt with a slit up the side than a micro-mini that shows the whole leg. Why? The Peekaboo Element. Not knowing when her leg will pop out triggers his imagination. And once you get him curious and thinking about you, that's when his thoughts turn to the future. When a man sees you wearing very revealing clothes, he'll usually assume you don't have anything else going for you. Once he reduces you to one dimension, he'll keep you there. He'll never take you seriously or think of you as having enough worth for a long-term relationship. Men want to marry a woman who is the whole package. Newsflash, if men were to explain this to women, they'd never get laid. According to the media, it's hip for you to invite a girlfriend over and have a ménage à trois. And it's cool to break out the naughty schoolgirl outfit or jump up and down on a pole wearing a wig and a little Bo Peep costume. Some fitness centers even have classes that teach women how to dance like a stripper. Women begin grinding their chairs and crawling across the floor on their hands and knees while "Ain't Too Proud to Beg" is blaring over the loudspeaker. While it might be really comical to watch as you look on from the treadmill, you can't be thinking, oh, I better give him a lap dance in the larboy to keep him happy. Slap yourself, before I do it for you. If you use sex to catch him, you will be guaranteed immediate contact and he'll put you in his little black book. But you won't get the rice, the ring, and the non-stick cooking set. Whom would you see a long-term future with? A Chippendales dancer wearing a neon yellow thong with singles inside his jockstrap, and plenty of wiggle in his jiggle? Or a nice-looking guy in a three-piece suit, with a 401k? Likewise, men want the whole package. They fantasize about having a quality woman they are proud of, whom they'd cuddle up with next to a fireplace. Another newsflash, a quality guy won't marry a woman who cheapens herself. Have you ever noticed that even strippers don't like the word stripper? Oops. Excuse me for being so insensitive. I respectfully confirm they are indeed exotic dancers earning an honorable living while paying their way through medical school. And my neighborhood crack dealer is an exotic pharmacist. As soon as he finishes his undergrad in the chemical arts, he is pursuing a doctorate in pharmacology. Remember, if you show up wearing a rhinestone thong pulled up to your hips on the first date, and on the next date you're sporting a miniskirt that could double as a tube top from the children's department, he'll see you as community property. Any guy can get to it, so I'm not special if I can get to her. Not only this, but men are extremely insecure about how many other lovers you've had, especially if they're thinking about marriage. Men even admitted that they have a magic number in their heads when they ask how many men you've been with. Anything more than what can be counted on one hand is too many. And it takes very little for their imaginations to run wild. If you see him in an old pair of underwear that has a large hole next to little lefty, you assume he hasn't had a good woman in his life to buy him a new supply of tighty whities. With men, it's the opposite. If he sees you wearing a sexy panty but the elastic is a little frayed or tattered, he'll see it as evidence of a recent humping. The same goes for that black lacy see-through bra you were planning to wear for him. If it's missing a hook or the hook is bent sideways, heaven forbid, he'll think it's been violently snatched off your body a time or two. When he sees you scantily dressed, he is not reminded of how great you look naked. He immediately thinks of all the other men you've slept with. For this reason, hold fire on the 5-piece XXX crotchless outfit with fishnets, rubber, metal studs, and 15 straps. It will have an everybody's girlfriend feel to it. What most men said they find sexiest is a woman in one of his shirts with a sexy pair of panties underneath. This has a mine only feel. If you change into sleepwear, wear something silky that looks like you'd wear it for yourself when he's not around. This is more likely to make him appreciate the sex, and appreciate you also.